People generally focus on the size of the opportunity that a particular sector or an industry has, and based on that they make an investment in that sector. They select a company in that sector and invest in that company, but eventually they still sometimes end up losing money. So why is that? So when you only focus on the size of the opportunity, you have to also understand that whether the company will be able to exploit that opportunity or not. The company can only exploit that opportunity if there is a barriers to entry. If the company does not have any competitive advantage, you don't know how much share of the opportunity the company will get in the end. So when a business does not have any barrier to entry, you should not completely focus on the opportunity size. Instead, what you should look at is whether there is capital flowing into the industry or out of the industry. So what do I mean by capital flow? See, when the industry is doing well, what we have generally observed is a lot of people get interested in that industry. Why? Because the companies that are there in that industry are making supernormal profits. The return on capital is very high. Looking at those numbers, competitors get interested. Now, if there is no barrier to entry at that point, the capital will start flowing into that industry. So how does capital flow in? The capital flows in the form of new entrants coming in, existing players expanding their capacity. You would also sometimes see existing companies raising money, raising capital in the form of IPOs, because raising money at this point is very easy. So as this capital flows into the industry and the capacity starts expanding, the supply side improves substantially. So the demand is going in a particular fashion, but supply starts going much above the demand. So capacity utilization starts declining, and over time profitability also gets impacted. When you reach at the bottom of the cycle, majority of the players or most of the players are making marginal profits or sometimes even losses. So this is the time when you will see capital again flowing out of the industry. You would see that some of the capacities which were planned by the players, they would shelve those projects or they would abandon those projects. And you would also see consolidation happening in the form of a bigger player buying out the smaller inefficient players. Over time, the capacity utilization will again start picking up because the inefficient players have moved out. The supply side improves. As the capacity utilization improves, the profitability also normalizes. In the early 2000s, the merchant power players in India were making supernormal profits because there was a huge deficit in India. Now, looking at these numbers, there was a sudden surge of capital in that industry. You had companies who were not present in that industry, who are not related to the power sector, getting into that industry, and existing players also expanding capacity. So this was the phase between 2006 and 2008. You can see the number of projects being announced and the capital, the kind of capacities that were getting planned at that point. It was huge. Also, there is a very good example of an IPO that came up in 2008. It was by a company which had not even started operations, and it issued the IPO at a huge premium, and it was surprisingly oversubscribed 73 times. So it did not make sense. But these are the actual signs that tell you that things are at the peak. All the capacities that were planned and that were started in 2006-8 period, those capacities actually came on stream in 2010-11, post that period. The power deficit actually did not come true. So you had excess power supply, and there were certain demand issues also at the same time, because of which the profitability of the industry started going down. The best time to look at the industry or start looking at the industry is when things are extremely bad. That is at the bottom of the cycle, because this is the time when you would be getting companies at distressed valuation, and this is also the time when you would start seeing signs of capital flowing out of the industry. If you invest at this point, what you will get is not only the earnings upside when things normalize, but also the valuation re-rating that takes place in between. So it sounds simple, but it's not easy, because when things are extremely bad, you will have all the bad news coming through. You will have all the noise regarding how this industry is going to go bust. At the same time, at the peak, you will have the news like, okay, this industry is going to do well for the next 10 years. When you have something like this, it becomes extremely difficult for an investor to take a decision because his decision will be influenced by all this noise. So as an investor, what you should be focusing on is only the hard data that you have. So if you focus on the data, you have a little bit of discipline and patience, you should be fine.
The Indian ceramic tile sector, where there seems to be an illusion of moat, but we at Multi-Act believe there is no moat out there.
In cricket, would you use batting average to evaluate a batsman as well as a bowler? Obviously not. Similarly, in valuation, you cannot use price to earnings as a valuation metric across companies.